Saturday night.
Now, recent news came out, right? Canelo is fighting Jermell Charlo, the 154-pound
Yeah,
Charlo.
the
smaller Charlo.
Correct.
You, Oscar De La Hoya, groomed Canelo's entire career. You brought him up from his days at 54 all the way up until, where he's at. Well, not now, but you know what I'm saying?
I mean, he did work prior to Golden Boy.
His whole rise going up in weight.
Right.
But for the fans, right, how do you see this fight playing out? And talk about the size difference, the weight.
I mean,
coming
Canelo
up.
got to be the favorite. Canelo got to be a favorite, but there's always a time where, Canelo can come up short. I mean, the blueprint for some that can be disciplined to pick the blueprint up from his last loss.
With Bhop?
Correct. And be a little special in the mix of that, what I mean is be a little different. If Canelo ain't gonna respect you, whether it's your power, whether it's your ability, whether it's your speed, then you can't offset what he does great, and that is systematically break you down, hit you with a big shot here and there, and then finish you.
You feel like the jab is key? Do you feel like the jab is key for Jermell?
No, for who?
For Jermell, against for Charlo against Canelo.
I think anything that can distract Canelo from unleashing his power, unleashing his power, in a rapid fire and time, it could be trouble for anybody. The discipline part is, how do you avoid that for 12 rounds or less without getting hit and wore down and overwhelmed by the size, by the experience, which Canelo has.
Do you think Charlo can hurt Canelo? Do you think he has enough power moving up? Because two divisions is very rare. You did it, but
listen, I don't think he can hurt Canelo, but I think he can get Canelo's respect.
Sort of like the way Mayweather was back in the day, right? Like he wasn't knocking out guys at welterweight, but he had enough snap to at least keep guys off.
To make a guy second
Respect
guess.
them? Yeah.
If you can do that, sometimes that's worse than a knockout based on the torture and based on a round by round of systematically breaking a guy down mentally. Normally linger on to fights that you're supposed to win and you don't win. I mean, this fight ain't a blowout. By no means
So Canelo and Charlo's gonna be a close fight?
I think it's gonna be one of those fights where if Canelo wins, he wins by knockout. If he loses by decision. I'm gonna say it again. This fight gonna be one, either Canelo knocks him out within the 1 to 12 rounds, or he loses by a decision. Whether it's 12 rounds, of course, it got to be 12 rounds.
Going up two divisions, you did it. What was the difference from being at your normal weight class that you were at for so many years?
I think I'm the only one
that
that's accomplished that goal in history. I don't know. I'm not putting myself there. Please, whoever will see this interview, do your research. I believe I'm the only fighter that went up two weight classes. Of course, skipping past 168 for greatness. I think that it's about time somebody took that same risk that I've taken, and I've achieved it.
Because Tarver was favored. They had Tarver favored.
Of course. Ray Robinson made an attempt to do it. Anybody know history? And Ray Robinson, because of his heat exhaustion,
the lights,
he couldn't answer the 15th round. So again, this is special. They say records are made to be broken. I say it all depends on the era, the fighter, and how it's done. And I think that how it's done is the right way of doing it, fighting a guy like Canelo, who's dangerous. He's not going to hand you anything. And the same thing, token go for who's Canelo's fighting, which is not a walk in the park. Younger, faster. He's a lion that's going up against a familiar lion that's been in the cage for a while. Have that lion that got complacent. Have that lion got stagnant mentally and physically. So we'll see when that time comes.
Now, Bernard, a lot of news over the last few days. You and Ryan Garcia, a little back and
I'd
forth.
rather talk about
Go ahead.
the Crawford and Spence fight.
Okay, let's talk about that. Who do you like in that fight, and how do you see it going?
No, that fight right now is a 50-50. To me, I had Crawford a year ago. To me, that fight it's a year and a half late, but better late than never. I think it's really a better time now based on the circumstances of the world, society, sports, people thirstiness and wanting to see great fights. And this year, thanks to myself being the biggest instigator in boxing, I put the call out. It seems like they answering the call. They would never admit it. Oh, they would never admit it, but everybody got the tapes and the videos. That, you mentioned Ryan, Tank Davis started the bells ringing. And look what we have. We got a potential heavyweight blockbuster that's going to happen. We got fights that's in negotiations now, even on our side that I can't mention about, that's going to be just as big, maybe 2024, the top of the year. Let me tell you, boxing right now is in a damn good place. It needs to stay there, and time will tell whether we lose some of that sting that we're starting to get the momentum now. And that's the key. The key is, look, you ain't gotta like me, you ain't gotta love me, but it has nothing to do with giving the fans what they want, and that is what? The professionalism of the boxers, the athletes, the fathers, the sons, the champions, female and male. The best fight the best, and that's why we are kicking the can, I would say, to the other team, letting them know, or promoters, we kicking the can to you to kick it back and let's fight.
In boxing, right? Boxing's about styles. Who do you feel has a superior style between Crawford and Spence? Because Spence, he's gonna come out. He's gonna come out.
You're dealing with southpaw.
Okay.
You're dealing with orthodox. You're doing two guys that can switch. I say they evenly matched.
Does Crawford come out southpaw or does he come out orthodox?
That's the key. You never know. I see both of them guys evenly matched, and it's gonna come down to who wanted the best, the most, and who has the better skills to offset what we already know about each other. Who can put a thought in their mind like, I didn't know he can do that, will be winning the fight. This fight is going to be won on surprises, not what we know. I'm going to say that again. This fight, Crawford and Spence, will be won on surprises, not what we already know. They both geared to see what they both know how to do, what they great at.
We might get a Leonard Hearns where maybe Spence is the one boxing and Crawford's the one leading, where it may mix up a little bit.
They might adopt each other's style and be different all the way around, but they will be themselves when it comes to the heart, the determination. So I think that's key.
You said Crawford a year and a half ago, but today, who do you have today? Or in July 29th, who do you got?
I'm still on the fence. I think it's going to be a 50-50 fight still. I want to get close to the fight. I'll be able to say, okay, I like Spence or I like Crawford. Right now, I still think it's at a 50-50 fight.
Does it go 12 rounds, or do you think this is one of those fights where it's not going?
It'll go 12.
115, 113 type fight? Like that's the close,
I think it'd be one of those fights where maybe people are going to go both sides and say, I think it'd be one of them on Leonard and Lemmer and Hagler fight.
So rematch for sure then?
Correct.
All right, thank you, Bhop. Anything you want to leave off with today?
And that would be special.
That's what we need.
Because fights like that, I wouldn't mind seeing based on how it ends. If it's a ball burner and both fighters, could have won or could have lost, and it's like that way, oh, come on.
Do it again.
We got to see another one. Respect.
Right, thank you, man. Appreciate you.